Now, I just saw the first episode of Peacemaker Season 2, and, well, it's as expected. Season 2 is gonna be about the multiverse, which is kind of boring when you think about it. I mean, the multiverse is kind of played out. Let's face it, Marvel's been doing it so much, we're kind of getting tired of it. But yeah, it's gonna be about the multiverse. And there is some interesting stuff that happens in the beginning, as there's a recap of what happened in the previous season of Peacemaker. And at the end of the first season of Peacemaker, we actually see the Justice League show up as Peacemaker's just walking out. And we see Aquaman and the Flash, and everyone else is in shadows. But now, apparently, the Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, has been swapped out in the recap for the Justice Gang. The Justice Gang that we see in Superman movie. We basically see Superman, Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, and Supergirl. Now, we only see Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl talking, but yeah, so this basically means that Zack Snyder's Justice League, or the previous DCEU Justice League, is no longer canon and it's been completely cut off. Peacemaker is now officially part of the DC universe. It has nothing to do with the old DC universe. So, it is what it is. I mean, I wasn't sure what to say about it because, I mean, there's no point in keeping Peacemaker part of that universe. So, it's over. We had to get over it, I guess. But anyway, in this episode, we see Peacemaker going for an interview to join the Justice Gang. And he's really nervous about it because he wants to be seen as a hero now. And he feels like joining the Justice Gang would be a step in that direction for everyone to acknowledge him as a hero. But the interview doesn't go so well. I mean, they don't really seem that interested in having him as a member, and they do kind of talk about him when he thinks that they think that he isn't listening, and he hears it and he just walks out. And it doesn't really create a good image for the Justice Gang, to be honest. It does more damage to them than to him. I mean, right before he showed up, there was another girl that showed up for an interview, and she ran out crying. So, yeah, not a good look. But anyway, after he doesn't, after that he's he's really sad. He doesn't know what to do. And what else? Oh yeah, before that, actually, he does end up going to that dimensional door earlier on, and he does end up seeing his dad, who's dead, and he gets shocked and runs out. He's terrified. That happens earlier on, and after this whole interview stuff happens, and then he's sad. And then let's look at the other people in the series. Emilia, she's basically out of work. She can't seem to get any work because of. I'm not sure if it's still Amanda Waller. Well, she's probably in this universe. Apparently, she's made sure that she cannot get hired in any form of government job because to get back at her. So she's completely frustrated, and she ends up going to a bar and picking a fight with a bunch of people and getting the crap beaten out of her and thrown out of the bar. So she's not doing well either. Then there's Peacemaker's friend. I think her name was Leota. Maybe wrong. So she's pretty much in the same situation too. She doesn't really she's struggling to find work. And her relationship's apparently over because of everything that happened in the previous season. So, and then there's Agent, who I think is working at a restaurant or something. Anyway, none of them are doing good, professionally speaking. So they're all in a really bad place. And as Peacemaker said, he decides to go through the door again and enters the and enters the interdimensional space, and then goes into the alternate universe where apparently Peacemaker's dad and his brother are both alive and well, and they're actually a happy, functional family. I mean, they see Peacemaker and they think he's the Peacemaker from their universe, and they hang out and talk about stuff, and he's completely shocked and also really happy because he now imagines something like this happening. And apparently he's dating Amelia, or was dating Amelia in this universe too, which didn't happen in the other universe, his own universe. So he's shocked and really happy and going through a lot of emotions. And as he's walking around looking at his alternate life, the Peacemaker from that universe shows up, and he thinks he's a shapeshifter or something and attacks him, and he tries to explain and then to run away, but the other Peacemaker doesn't let him escape, and they end up going back into the interdimensional space between the worlds. And as he's attacking him, Peacemaker manages to make the other Peacemaker eject himself, and he impales himself and he dies in this Peacemaker's arms. So basically, the alternate version of Peacemaker from that world is no longer exists. So that's shocking. I honestly didn't expect that to happen. I was only expecting the two Peacemakers to just hang out and compare their worlds and how they like their worlds or how they don't. So that's not gonna even happen. They barely had a conversation, which kind of does lead to the opportunity of Peacemaker going to the other world and leaving his world behind, as we see in the trailers, because the Peacemaker from that universe is gone. So there is a opening, I guess, for him to go there. And yeah, so that's how the entire episode ends, and it is interesting. At least it's a little different than the normal multiverse stuff. I mean, Peacemaker killing the other Peacemaker, but I guess that's a Peacemaker kind of thing. But yeah, it leaves a good opening, but it also leaves a big issue. I mean, I'm assuming at the end of this whole thing, Peacemaker is gonna end up going back to his own world, be willing to live in his world and deal with all the problems there. But he did kind of kill the other Peacemaker from the other world. So are his family and his friends from the other world just gonna let that go? Aren't they probably gonna try and come here to get revenge? I mean, sure, he didn't mean to kill him, but still, yeah, I'm not sure how well that's gonna end. So we have to wait and see. But seems like an interesting story to begin with, even for a multiverse thing.